Hey, well, it's about damn time we have something positive to talk about, folks. The Second Amendment, well, it affects us all. Whether you decide to pack heat or not pack heat, you are nevertheless a part of the machine when it comes to that oh-so-maligned tool that kills the bad guys and the good guys alike. And whether you choose to exercise it or not, you exit your teenage years with a right in this country to keep and bear arms. It's a right not to be infringed, though plenty of people down through the decades have worked mightily hard to do some infringing. Put a different way, you have a right, and many would argue a responsibility, to protect yourself and your family from harm, should harm come walking down the street at you some fine, sunny, unexpected day. And in West Virginia, a federal judge has seen to it that the barriers erected around the body of that right to protect it from totalitarian morons just got a little bit stronger. Federal law 18 Code 922K, which prohibits any person from knowingly transporting in interstate or foreign commerce any firearm which has had the importer's or manufacturer's serial number removed, obliterated, or altered, or from owning said guns. And the Right Honorable Judge Joseph Goodwin has declared that federal law unconstitutional. All right? Pretty radical for reasons which should be fairly obvious, but just in case they're not, let's talk about it for a minute. Why is it that we agree to the notion that the manufacturers and importers should have to put serial numbers on guns to begin with? What about a right that shall not be infringed gives us the idea that a little bit of infringement is okay? Because surely putting guns in a database fits the term, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes, it does. Surely requiring manufacturers to put a serial number on your guns isn't the sort of thing that the founding fathers would have put up with, right? And to be fair, I will say that having serial numbers on guns does make a law enforcement's job of solving crimes easier sometimes. It really can lead to justice being served. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself if it's worth it. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. There's collateral damage to freedom. Collateral damage to freedom. Everything isn't always wine and roses and unicorn farts, people. Sometimes truth is dirty and even ugly, and this is one of those times, because it doesn't matter that serial numbers on guns make it easier to solve crimes. They also make it easier to confiscate those guns at some point in the future when the government finally thinks it's got the upper hand enough to do so. And if you think crime is bad now, just wait until the only people who have had guns, they're the only bad guys that are out there. They're the ones with the label. That's a whole new level of unfortunate for you and me. And ultimately, this is a Good News Friday type of story because it's a story of someone doing his best to slow the creeping, gelatinous monster that is totalitarianism in our world. This isn't game over for those who are trying desperately to take away our rights, but it's a move in the right direction. And if we have to celebrate those folks, we have to, folks, because you need to guard your freedoms. Keep them close to your heart. Not just your freedom to bear arms, but all the freedoms you were inherently granted by God when you were born. There is a daily need to remind ourselves that the government is not here to give us rights. It's here to protect them. Never allow yourself or anyone else you know to forget that. I love you. God bless.